and enjoy. All my life, I've been a simple man. Wake up, eat, get ready for the day, work my 9 to 5 job, come home, relax, then repeat. The walls inside my one-room apartment were white and bland. Boring. But boring is what I love. Boring is simple. One day I was cutting onions, and the knife slipped and caught my finger. There was blood everywhere. My knees grew weary and buckled at the sight of my own blood. I tried grasping the wall to hinder my fall, but to no avail did I affect the situation with my poor attempt. I woke up to see a single mark of blood on my wall. My perfect, white, simple, boring wall. This angered me to no end. My whole life, all I wanted was simple. Every day from work, I came home and stared at the red stain. It's almost as if it had eyes of its own, staring back at me, mocking my very existence. I bought a gallon of white paint to cover up my shame of an imperfect life, but every time I attempted to paint over it, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I could hear the walls laughing at me. "Stop laughing! Stop laughing!" I would shout. But it only became louder. I punched my wall, so hard that my knuckles were bleeding. Bleeding. Blood. Red blood. I smeared my bloody knuckles on my wall. The laughing stopped. That was it. In that moment, there was nothing I wanted more than to have the perfect red room. The next day, I bought red paint. I began painting, but it didn't feel right. The shade, it wasn't perfect. I waited for it to dry and paint over it with white paint, leaving only the 2 red stains untouched. The 2 perfect stains. I grabbed a knife from the sink and cut my finger, this time on purpose. I smeared it on the wall. There it was. The perfect shade, matching the other 2. I knew what I had to do. It would take time, but it would be perfect. Every 12 weeks to the dot, I would drain myself of a pint of blood. You would think I would murder someone and use their blood, but no, I'm no monster. Even though that would be a gallon, just what I needed. But it needed to be my blood. It had to be perfect. With every inch of red that was added onto my wall, my life gained fulfillment. I, for once, had a purpose. After some time had passed, my wall was almost finished. But I had used up my pint for the 12-week period. The laughing started once again. My once white wall with red stains was now a red wall with a square foot of white stain. It needed to be gone. I needed it to be gone. The imperfection was screaming at me. I couldn't wait another 12 weeks. This had to be now. I picked up my knife out of anger, and I cut my arm. But I was careless. I went a little too deep. I hit an artery and began to bleed out. I couldn't stop it. I only had time to do one of 2 things: call 911 or finish my wall. I lunged at my wall, smearing my blood as much as I could before collapsing to the floor. I drained out on my floor and died. I was found a week later decaying in a puddle of my own blood, my perfect red shade of blood. When the police arrived, they didn't just see my dead body, they saw my perfect red room. The end. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like this video and leave a comment telling me what you think. And don't forget to subscribe for more future videos.